Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Saranisa binti Sazali. My number matric is 281168. Today, I'll be presenting about intangible heritage, which is SONGKET. SONGKET is a traditional Malaysian hand-woven fabric created by women in the Malay Peninsula and Sarawak. The term SONGKET refers to decorative weaving technique used to make the fabric, which entails inserting gold or silver thread in between the base thread. As a result, the extra thread seems to float over a colorful woven background to create an ornamental effect. SONGKET is woven using a cake, a traditional two-pedal floor loom. SONGKET is woven using a cake, a traditional skilled hand loom weaving by expert artists. SONGKET is woven using a cake, a traditional two-pedal floor loom. The final product is a delicate fabric resulting from months of skilled hand loom weaving by expert artisans. The weaving technique, which dates back to the 16th century, is passed on from generation to generation, and the SONGKET style can be identified by the design pattern that use geometric shapes and organic elements such as flowers, birds, and insects. The SONGKET materials was traditionally worn only by royalty and their families. However, today it is used by Malay people all over the country in traditional ceremonial clothing for royal installations, weddings, birth, festive occasion, and formal state functions. Although the weaving of SONGKET has always been firmly in the hand of women, men also partake in the practice by making the weaving equipment. Due to the historical factors of the Srivijaya Empire, trade and mixed marriage, SONGKET has also become popular in the maritime Southeast Asia region, especially in countries around Indonesia such as Brunei, Malaysia, and Singapore. In 2021, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, which is UNESCO, officially recognized SONGKET Malaysia as a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. The term SONGKET derived from the Malay word of sungkit, which means to hook. It is referred to the method of SONGKET making, to hook and pick a group of threads and then slip the gold and silver threads in it. Another theory suggested that it was constructed from the combination of two terms, tusuk, which is prick, and cuket, which is also pick, that combined as sukit, modified further as sukit, and finally SONGKET. UNESCO specifies 5 primary domains for the manifestation of intangible cultural heritage. The first one is oral traditions and expression, including language as a vehicle of the intangible cultural heritage. Second one, performing arts. The third one is social practices, rituals, and festive events. Fourth, knowledge and practices concerning nature and the universe. And the last one is traditional craftsmanship. SONGKET domain encompasses traditional craftsmanship. Traditional craftsmanship, best described as manufactured mainly by hand. Original features and manual labor of a traditional craft are inseparable from each other. If the manual labor of a traditional craft is carried by machine processes, Even while preserving a traditional technique, it has no meaning because the original features of the craft will be lost. Traditional craftsmanship is perhaps the most tangible manifestation of intangible cultural heritage. However, the 2003 convention is mainly concerned with the skills and knowledge involved in craftsmanship rather than the craft product themselves. Rather than focusing on preserving craft objects, safeguarding attempts should instead concentrate on encouraging artisans to continue to produce craft and to pass their skills and knowledge onto others, particularly within their own communities. There are numerous expressions of traditional craftsmanship, such as tools, clothing and jewelry, costume and props for festivals and performing arts. Many of these objects are only intended to be used for a short time, such as those created for festival rites, while others may become heirlooms that are passed from generation to generation. The skills involved in creating craft objects are as varied as the items themselves and range from delicate, detailed work such as weaving songket into cloth. For ages, Malay songket has served as a sign of prestige, riches, and luxury, showcasing royal symbols and elaborate patterns of stunning beauty. For centuries, monarchs and members of the elite have worn songket. The songket was developed entirely by hand and carefully prepared by the best of the best. Songket cloth is now used by individuals from many walks of life, including organizations, traditional dancers, and those who need formal attire for events such as weddings. In my opinion, songket motif and elements in Malaysia can be inventoried as intangible cultural heritage because it will help to ensure that their original forms remain identifiable. For example, as an inventoried intangible cultural heritage, a songket motif like pucuk rebung will always be identifiable as pucuk rebung, no matter how it may be incorporated into a digital design or textile pattern. We will be able to safeguard its history and cultural value of songket weaving tradition so its origins are not lost with derivative and variations. Not only that, weaving tradition of songket is also seen across different regions. Its existence can promote and help develop intercultural dialogue, which then encourages mutual respect for different cultures. This ultimately is one of the benefits of having songket in the first place. It allows us as a people to be cognizant that we are not so different from each other, no matter where we come from. Although the songket concept has existed for some time, many are not aware of its importance. We need to develop this awareness and appreciation for weaving traditional of songket in Malaysia, not only among the public but also in organizations